Welcome to Illuminati Silver. We tell you the truth about silver. Today is Wednesday, the 23rd of November 2016, and we're discussing yesterday's rise in the Dow, which closed for the first time ever above 19,000. The Dow Jones Industrial Average hit a new record high on Tuesday, peaking at 19,044 in late afternoon trading, and finished the day at 19,023. The Dow, which includes 30 brand name stocks, is up nearly 4% since Donald Trump's victory over Hillary Clinton in the US presidential elections. The S&P 500 and Nasdaq are also at record highs. So what is happening? The markets now seem to think that Trump's win, combined with Republicans retaining control of both the House of Representatives and Senate, should mean that many of Trump's market-friendly policies will be enacted. CNN has reported, quote, "Investors are betting Trump will get a stimulus package passed that will help rebuild much of the nation's infrastructure. That's why stocks like Caterpillar and US Steel have surged since the election. The market is also betting that Trump may roll back some of the provisions of two signature laws passed during the Obama administration, the Affordable Care Act and the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act. Drugmakers Merck and Pfizer have rallied on hopes that the Trump administration won't focus so much on reining in the price of medications as Clinton might have. This could also be good news for health insurers. And Wall Street banks JP Morgan Chase and Goldman Sachs have popped on expectations that Trump will be more lenient to financial firms, unquote. The latest rally is a continuation of a very long bull run for the stock market during the Obama presidency. At the beginning of his term, the US economy was still in the midst of the Great Recession, with the Dow having nearly tripled since then from its low of 6,400 in March 2009. But America's largest companies aren't the only ones booming lately. The Russell 2000, an index that holds smaller US companies, also is at a record high. Investors are betting that Trump's efforts to bolster the US economy will also be great for smaller companies, which tend to have less exposure overseas. Many have asked the question, why should the markets rise now after Trump's win, but fell before it? Surely it has been aware of his policies for some time. Well, the Daily Intelligencer, part of nymag.com, addresses this quite well. Quote, "When the market rallied the morning after Trump's victory, some rationalized the response by noting the conciliatory tone the president-elect struck in his victory speech. But Trump has been anything but conciliatory in the days since, and stocks have continued to rally nonetheless. It simply isn't the case that investors rationally adjusted their expectations of a Trump presidency on the basis of information that only became available after November the 8th. The only satisfying explanation for the market's sudden change in perspective is that before Election Day, investors indulged in the delusion that what was bad for the United States was also bad for business. Then, after Trump's victory, Wall Street's superego went silent, while its id saw with crystal clarity how many opportunities for short-term profit a president who believes in regressive tax cuts and financial deregulation, but not in climate change, was sure to present, regardless of whatever else his victory might portend." Unquote. If they are correct, they foresee a Trump presidency as being good for business and attractive to entrepreneurs. If this view continues, and Trump's policies head in that direction, we can see stock markets in the US rise even further. This, unfortunately, is not positive for gold and silver prices short term, especially not for gold. In an era of rising stock markets and potentially rising interest rates, the investment demand for both gold and silver is likely to reduce, thereby directly affecting their price. Whereas there could be an argument that states an increase in business could mean an increase in the demand for silver, the Silver Institute has already shown that the growth in silver this year has not been the result of an increase in industrial demand or physical coin and bar demand, but an increase in paper investment products, which has had to support such investments with a certain level of silver deposits. The key question is, of course, how long can this stock market bubble continue? Well, for the moment, there seems to be no end in sight. It does look, at least initially, that a Donald Trump presidency will serve to fuel those fiat and manipulated financial systems which hardcore physical precious metal investors loathe. We hope you have found this video interesting and informative, and if so, please give it a thumb up and share it on Twitter. Also, kindly visit our website at illuminatisilver.com, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe as a free member for regular email updates and offers. Our Facebook page, which is updated daily, can be found at facebook.com/illuminatisilver. Disclaimer. Illuminati silver owners come from a background of banking, international wealth management and economics. Having now retired from these worlds, we are not qualified to give investment advice. Therefore, this and other productions must not be deemed to be giving such advice and merely represent the personal views of its owners.